March 18th, 2009. A date that began like any other, yet would go on to change the lives of many. Claudia Lawrence, a 35-year-old chef at the University of York, was about to vanish without a trace, leaving behind a trail of questions that is yet to be answered. Her case would soon become one of the most mysterious and heart-wrenching unsolved murders in the United Kingdom. For over a decade, Claudia's disappearance has haunted the people of York, the UK, and her family. A case that started as a missing persons report soon escalated into an investigation, leading to more questions than answers. Today, we delve deep into the chilling story of Claudia Lawrence's disappearance, the investigation, and the ongoing search for justice. Claudia Lawrence had a life filled with typical routines, work, friends, and aspirations. But on March 18, 2009, everything changed. Early in the morning, she spoke to her mother Joan over the phone. They talked about simple things, plans for the weekend, family matters. But little did her mother know, it would be the last time she'd hear her daughter's voice. Later that day, Claudia worked her regular shift at the University of York's kitchens. She was well-liked, dedicated, and known for her warmth. Her colleagues recall how she was always a joy to be around, a kind-hearted person who was dependable. But that evening, as night descended, something went terribly wrong. On March 19, 2009, her colleagues at the university grew worried when she didn't show up for work. Calls to her phone went unanswered, her voicemail remained full, and as they continued to try, the sense of panic began to set in. Claudia's phone had been switched off, and there was no word from her. The time for worry was now replaced by fear. Well left behind in her apartment, there were no ransom demands, no signs of a struggle, just an eerie stillness. It seemed as though Claudia had simply disappeared. Claudia Lawrence was living in the heart of York, a vibrant young woman with a complex life. She had recently ended a long-term relationship with her partner, Ben, and had a strained relationship with her father, Peter Lawrence. Despite these emotional challenges, there was no obvious reason for her to just vanish. Claudia had friends, family, a job she loved, and a future ahead of her. Claudia had friends, family, a job she loved, and a future ahead of her. No one could understand why she would disappear. And that's where the mystery deepened. Who would want to harm Claudia? Was it someone from her past, a stranger, or perhaps someone who was hiding in the shadows of her daily life? As the investigation unfolded, police started to investigate her personal relationships. They questioned ex-boyfriends, colleagues, even her friends. There was no sign of an obvious threat, but as the days turned into weeks, the authorities found something unsettling. Claudia had expressed to a close friend that she had been concerned about a man following her, someone she felt uneasy about, but she had never gone into detail. The investigation led police to a dark twist. Claudia's phone had last pinged near a wooded area, miles from her home. Was it a clue or just an unfortunate coincidence? The search expanded with helicopters and canine units, but the woods offered no answers. No body, no signs of Claudia. Just an empty, desolate place where the truth seemed to disappear with her. Months went by and Claudia's case began to gather national attention. The police delved deeper into her personal life. They explored every possibility, and then the police uncovered something chilling. Claudia had recently confided in someone about being stalked. A man was allegedly following her, watching her movements. This man was described as being in his 40s, but no one had any concrete information on him. Was this the key to unraveling the mystery? As the investigation grew more complex, rumors about Claudia's personal life began to circulate. Were they helpful, or were they merely distractions? Theories emerged, some wild, some grounded in fact, but all leading to the same conclusion. Something dark had happened to Claudia Lawrence. Despite the massive search, the discovery of Claudia's body seemed to remain elusive. Her phone pinged near the woods, but no trace of her was found there. A few personal items were discovered around her apartment, but the deeper they searched, the fewer answers they found. The investigation turned cold. The police had nothing solid to go on. No forensic evidence, no suspects, and no leads. For a long while, the case seemed to go nowhere. In 2015, the case was revisited by a new team of detectives. The family, especially her father, Peter Lawrence, never gave up on finding the truth. Peter's voice became a rallying cry for justice as he pushed the authorities to keep the search alive. But the case seemed destined to remain a mystery. In 2019, a breakthrough seemed possible. the police announced that they had a significant person of interest, a breakthrough that sparked a renewed sense of hope. But after questioning this individual and following new leads, the police were once again left with more questions than answers. No arrest was made, and once again the investigation hit another dead end. Claudia Lawrence's case remains an open wound, not just for her family but for the entire nation. Her father, Peter Lawrence, fought tirelessly for justice until his own death in 2020. His passing marked the end of a personal crusade that had lasted over a decade. He never learned the fate of his daughter, but despite his passing, the search for the truth remains. As time moves on, the case of Claudia Lawrence is a stark reminder of how fragile life can be and how quickly someone can vanish without a trace. What happened to Claudia that fateful night? Was it a case of someone she knew? Or did the killer lurk in the shadows, unnoticed and undetected? Despite the years of unanswered questions, the search for Claudia's killer continues. Her family's fight for justice is not over, and the hope remains that one day the truth will finally come to light. As we close this chapter on Claudia Lawrence's story, we leave you with one lingering thought. How often do we really know the people around us, and what lies beneath the surface of their lives that we may never see? This story is far from over, and the quest for truth and justice continues. Claudia Lawrence's disappearance is not just a mystery, it's a tragedy that still demands an answer. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that as you reflect on this story, you'll share any insights or thoughts you might have. Please stay tuned for the next chapter in our ongoing exploration of unsolved crimes. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. If you have any thoughts or theories, feel free to leave a comment below. Your insights could help bring justice to Claudia Lawrence and many others like her.